Folks, absolutely mayhem going on in Haiti as we speak. The Prime Minister, Ariel Henry, has announced he is going to resign. Of course, you have gangs that are controlling Port-au-Prince. The country was thrown into turmoil with the assassination of the country's president. His wife was implicated in that. Others were involved as well. Folks have pled guilty, been sent to prison. It is one huge problem after another. Let's turn to the Miami Herald award-winning Caribbean correspondent Jacqueline Charles to explain really what's going on there. Jacqueline, you've been covering this country for a very long time. You know the ins and outs. What the hell is going on?
A mess. It is a very difficult period right now in Haiti. As you mentioned, the prime minister yesterday announced that he will step down. This was, the Miami Herald, we broke the story about a week ago when he was locked out of the country coming back from Kenya after signing a deal to get some Kenyan police into Haiti to lead a multinational security support mission that has the support of the U.S. But at that point, the country was blowing up. There were no international flights. All of the airports were shut down. Ariel Henry was on a plane going to the Dominican Republic, where he had hoped to take a helicopter to go into Port-au-Prince, and the Dominicans said, "You can't land." And as he turned around and was headed to the U.S. territory of Puerto Rico, the Biden administration sent him a memo for ask of PM Henry, and in there, basically, we need you to work on your resignation. And they had a step-by-step. Well, he part of the request was for him to go to Jamaica and resign. He did not go to Jamaica, but the Jamaicans basically came to the Haitians in the sense that yesterday in Jamaica, Secretary of State Blinken, he flew there. Trudeau was on video. 7 Caribbean prime ministers were also present, and the Haitians were still locked out of their country because of the closure of the airport due to no flights. They were on video conference, and after 7 hours, they decided on a transitional plan, a 7-member presidential council that will choose a prime minister to replace Ariel Henry, and then ready the country for a multinational security support mission if and when it comes, and we can talk about that in a minute. And then elections. This is a country that hasn't had elections in 7 years. Former President Jovenel Moise, when he was assassinated on the 7th of July, 2021, he had not held not one election during his 4 years in office. It's been almost 3 years since he was killed, and that plunged Haiti into a huge, deep crisis, you name it, political, humanitarian, and the gangs have basically stepped into that power vacuum.
This is the tweet from Secretary Blinken that he posted. Haitians cannot wait any longer for a path to security, stability, and democracy. The United States and the CARICOM support a clear political transition plan led by trusted representatives of Haitian society. So you talked about this presidential panel, if you will, to pick a leader. But that's one thing. The problem that you still have is, how do you gain control security-wise of the country? How do you gain control of a situation where, frankly, you don't know if you can trust the Haitian Armed Services or the police? You've got the gangs as well. You've been on before talking about who is behind these gangs, who's funding them. So who the hell can anybody trust?
Well, that is a debate and discussion today, because even though you had a number of Haitian political and civic society actors involved in this call and they signed off, today what I'm hearing is that there's disagreement. First of all, people are saying 7 members plus 2 observers. You can't govern with that. Then there are concerns about who are the representatives that will be on this panel, even though there are criteria. You cannot have been convicted of a crime or indicted. You can't be sanctioned by the UN. You can't be a candidate for the upcoming elections, and you have to support a security mission. But what we're finding is the same issue that the prime minister had found. Like, there is disagreement. This is a society that's deeply polarized. There are some individuals who say you cannot ignore what's happening in the streets. You cannot ignore the politics. But at the same time, do you want to bring the gangs to the negotiating table? The resignation and the pressure for the prime minister to step down came as gang members said he better have stepped down or we're going to wage a civil war. It came as gang members targeted key government institutions, the airport. They orchestrated 2 prison breaks of the 2 largest prisons. There are 5,000 people right now on the streets of Port-au-Prince. Some of them are murderers or kidnappers. Some of them are people indicted in the assassination of the president, and people who are innocent or who's never gone before a judge and they've been in jail for like 10 years. This is a country where the institutions are broken or non-existent. The government is weak, and there is not one elected official. 12 million people. You mentioned the police. Well, you don't even have 9,000 police officers. I mean, their police stations were overtaken by the gang at the beginning of these violent attacks. At least 6 police officers have been killed. Others have fled because they just can't. I mean, it is a very difficult situation. Imagine you're living here, you're seeing these images. I mean, people are frightened, people are scared. You know, the heavy gunfire that doesn't stop. They don't know what to do, and they can't get out. The roads are blocked by gangs, and the airport is not functioning.
So listening to you walk through that, there's nobody to trust. And so you can have this panel, you can do this, but what the hell happens? And clearly the United States does not have the credibility in Haiti to come in and be a mediating voice, correct?
I don't agree with that. I think that what's happening here is Haitians have an opportunity to decide on their future and to think about the 12 million people who do not have a voice. In the last 3 years, we've seen huge changes. People went from I don't want an international force, you know, and thinking about all the previous times that there was a quote unquote occupation. Well, now people recognize that the police can't do it by themselves and they need help. And let me just say to you that this is a police force that was stood up by the United States. It is financed mostly by the United States, and it is our U.S. arms embargo that determines how many guns, what kind of guns they can have, how much ammunition. But yet the guns and the ammunition that the gangs are having access to, most of it is coming, you know, from the U.S. So people who ask, why does the U.S. have a role in here? Well, it's, you know, it's our policies that, you know, that are driving this. I think that the difficulty of this, and CARICOM and U.S. and Canada, they have to be commended. They try to get everybody in a room. They asked them for one plan, and the Haitians sent 7 to 9 plans. And so what you got today was a cobbling of trying to get some sort of a broad section of Haitian society. But how do you get a broad section when people are living in misery, people are going hungry, people are not thinking about voting, they're just thinking about getting to the next day. You don't know when your neighborhood is going to be raided by these armed groups. I mean, today there are over 360,000 people who have been forced out of their homes by these armed gangs. As a result of the shutdown, people are running out of potable water. Electricity is scarce. You go into the stores, the shelves are bare because over 50% of what Haiti receives, you know, comes from outside of the country. So this is a very difficult situation. And again, there's not one elected official, you know, in there. So there's a lot riding on this panel, and hopefully they think about, you know, the very people in the streets that they say that they want to govern, and think about how do you start to ameliorate the situation for them.
Well, that's why I talked about, again, the credibility. We know the history of the United States. First of all, more than 100 years ago, frankly, intervening in Haiti's affairs in 1915, taking the money out of the country. We know what happened when it came to Aristide. We had back and forth, Papa Doc, Baby Doc. I mean, so you have the history. You use the Clintons' name. Some folks in Haiti, that's a great name. Other people say, oh my God, no, they stole millions from Haiti. And so does the United States, again, what I'm saying is, I mean, it's everything. So the question is this here: does the United States have credibility in the country? Is there an individual? Is there a group? You know, unfortunately, you know, Randall Robinson is no longer with us. You've had African Americans who were very vocal about what was happening there, who had relationships there. How do you come to some form of agreement so it's not total chaos?
Well, I think that's what the international community, especially CARICOM, tried to do yesterday. I mean, first of all, interesting enough, you mentioned we've had African Americans who've been vocal. We have not heard much from the CBC, the Congressional Black Caucus. We're not hearing from Republicans. I mean, Kenya is the only country that raised their hands because the U.S. is not going to send troops. And some people are saying that only U.S. troops are going to stem this tide of violence, and because the gangs, that's all they're afraid of. But the U.S. says that's off the board. So you have four choices today: send U.S. troops, which the Biden administration says we're not going to do; send in UN peacekeepers, which requires you to go and not get a veto from China and Russia, and we know what that's like; or try to get this multinational security support mission from Kenya. But the Republicans in Congress are saying to the Biden administration, well, we're not sure about this untested plan that you're trying to do, and we got all these questions and going back and forth. I mean, the administration initially promised $200 million. They've requested 50 million, and they can't even get 50 million to get this thing off the ground. And you're forced.
Well, first of all, you said the administration, you mean the United States?
Yes, the
Got
United
it.
States.
Okay.
The Biden administration has asked Congress to release $50 million so that they can start to do the planning for this Kenyan led force. And it's 1,000 police officers from Kenya that will serve as the backbone of a multinational security support mission. So from the minute this, Kenya raised their hands, it's faced legal challenges in Kenya. Henri was actually in Nairobi signing this agreement when the gang saw it, and they basically blew up because they say they don't want an international force coming into the country, and they also want amnesty. So, we putting this on the U.S., but at the end of the day, what the U.S. and the international community has done, they've been talking about a Haitian-led solution. They said, okay, you say that we're in your business, we're doing this, we're doing that. So this is your opportunity to step up and to lead. And for 3 years, they've been telling the Haitians to figure it out. And then this week was, pay dirt. And instead of coming together and saying, here's one plan, you sent in 7 and 8. So when you see that there's a 9-member or 7-member panel, however you want to do it, we're saying, well, how does is this 7 presidents? I mean, who's going to be in charge? How long are you going to be in charge? Look, I mean, they've got to figure it out, because it's not about the people running the country. It's about the people living in the country. And today it's misery.
Before I go to the panel with questions, when I mentioned the Clintons in Haiti, you sort of started laughing because I get these people all on so.
I covered the IHRC after the 2010 earthquake. I arrived in Haiti within hours of this, and people accuse Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton of a lot of things, and it's ridiculous. I mean, first of all, the money that was promised to Haiti, the billions of dollars, it never arrived. It didn't go to the Haitian government. It was kept by the aid agencies that had it. It did not go to Bill Clinton or the commission that he was chairing. What they did was like, okay, tell me, you promise $100 million. Well, how are you going to spend it? Where it's supposed to go? And then we had an election, and then that accountability, went away. It's very unfortunate because people were not paying very close attention to this, and it's very easy for people to just sort of hear the sound bites and say, oh, I heard this money, that money. But I've done, my investigations on this repeatedly, and the reality is that there were billions of dollars that were promised to Haiti that were not delivered. And 15 years or 14 years after this earthquake, things did not go up, things went down. We've seen nothing but a downward spiral, in this country.
And is part of that billions not coming because countries stated, well, if you're not stable, we don't know who it's going to.
No.
Go ahead.
Not at all. The money wasn't delivered because it was promised, and there's all of this red tape on who can get it and how it needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the issue. And I remember I did a story with this, and one of the frustrations of President Clinton, for instance, was that grassroots organizations in Haiti that were on the ground that needed this money, they had no access to the money because they still had to go to USAID or, the European Union or any one of these aid agencies. And so some of that money, remember the famous stories about the Red Cross and how money they wanted to put money in a hotel, and only, 10 houses, 20 houses that were built. People went in and saying, oh my God, there's a disaster and it's poor people, so let's do this. But here's the reality. Poor people often don't own houses or the property. So if I am an aid agency and I have all of this money, am I going to put it into somebody whose house can get pulled up from under them literally the next day? But the people in the middle class who lost their homes, they could have benefited from it, but that's just not a great, look. So there was a lot of mistakes that were done in terms of the response. Haiti itself received money from Venezuela. There's been investigations about billions of dollars that they had in their control that we can't see where that money went. So there is no pointing the finger here. I mean, I think everybody shares the blame. And it's very unfortunate because if you talk to the average Haitian, yes, the U.S. is the elephant in the room. And they know that if the U.S. Will pay some attention, they feel like the needle will move. So you went from where people will complain of too much U.S. involvement to today people are saying to me, are they just going to let us die standing?
I did reach out to, as you were talking to some Congressional Black Caucus leaders, and what I got back was, quote, we're calling for Republicans to fund $40 million in relief funds and working with Kenya to bring resources to stabilize the situation to avoid a mass migration. And the CBC members who are taking a lead on this are Congresswoman Yvette Clarke, Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett, and Congressman Gregory Meeks. So hopefully we'll reach out to them. Have you communicated with any three of them?
I've talked to Meeks's office. I mean, it's interesting. Again, we put migration in there. It's not about migration. I mean, I think that the administration with this humanitarian parole program has sort of addressed the migration issue, and people are looking at the migration. But Haiti is 2 hours from Florida, and so we should be pushing to do something, not because we're afraid of a mass migration to the United States, but just because it's a humanly thing to do.
Hold tight 1 second, Jacqueline. I'm going to go to a break. We come back. My panel will have questions for you. Folks, we're trying to get a better understanding of what's happening in Haiti. It is a country that is in chaos. It was the first black independent country, and ever since its founding, having to pay back reparations to their former enslavers. And this has been one thing after another. And my goodness, would it be great to have peace in Haiti and prosperity, but you got to have leadership. So I'm going to go to a break. We'll be right back on Roland Martin Unfiltered.
The difference between Haiti and a failed state? It's telling, right? We can't really identify them because the gangs are in charge. The government has been thrown out. And as a Florida man, I'm deeply concerned about this wave of people that we are having coming from Haiti, and it will accelerate because I've gone to Opelika and I've spent time with the folks that are engaged in Operation Vigilant Sentry, and they say the #1 push factor that drives these Haitians into Broward County, Palm Beach County, where they don't disperse throughout the country, they stay in Southeast Florida. That driving factor is the deterioration of conditions in Haiti. So what are we doing to prepare for that wave and to ensure that these people are not paroled into the United States as the administration has done with people on the southern border, but instead are repatriated back at the dock at Port-au-Prince?
Go ahead. Congressman, we're doing a number of things to ensure that we're keeping track of the situation and we're prepared. At the moment, we have not yet seen large numbers, what we would characterize as a maritime mass migration. But we are alert to that.
Mass migration, though.
We are alert to that possibility. I think you're right that the driving conditions in Haiti could very well press more people. So we've recently approved some additional assistance that we can provide to the Coast Guard. I think that has now fully been approved. We'll be providing notifications if we haven't already to provide additional shipboard assistance.
Because I've talked to the Coast Guard.
So again, that was a Department of Defense hearing where Republicans are suggesting that America should be bracing for a mass migration from Haiti. Jacqueline Charles, Caribbean correspondent for the Miami Herald, she says that's not what's going on. But again, you see the hysteria, Jacqueline. You see the hysteria there from the Matt Gaetz of the world in trying to challenge the Department of Defense.
Well, yes. I mean, first of all, to get a mass migration, you have to be able to get out the Capitol, right? I mean, the gangs control over 80% of Port-au-Prince. 2 years ago, I flew to one of the regions where migrants were leaving from, and I literally had to fly. I had to charter an airplane, and we landed literally on a road in the middle of a market because there isn't an airport. And then, there was an incident in the country, and my charter flight got canceled. And the only thing I knew was that I was not going back to Port-au-Prince by road because the likelihood of me getting kidnapped was very, very high because there were several kidnap alleys along the way. I mean, this is the reality of what you're dealing with. And when you get kidnapped, it's an awful situation. We've got collective rape that's going on by gangs if you make it out alive. And then, of course, they're asking, enormous amounts of money that a lot of people just don't have.
Questions from our panel. Larry, you're there in Florida. You first.
Yeah, I am. So I guess my question, you alluded to this earlier. I want to focus on the humanitarian situation here, because you talk about, people don't have access to food, clean water, and some of the other challenges. And I'm wondering how soon, obviously this is already, situation's already blown up, and how soon it could actually mushroom as it relates to starvation, disease, et cetera, based on where we are now. And I'm making that point because obviously the importance of this, the United States in this collective organization, a group of individual countries being involved in supporting Haiti. Like how close are we to an actual full-blown humanitarian crisis where people are starving and disease, et cetera?
Well, the World Food Program says that we are very acute too. I mean, that's when you look at the numbers of what's happening in Haiti, it's the kind of numbers that you see in places of war. I mean, just in January, there were over 1,100 Haitians who were killed, kidnapped, or injured. I mean, that's a huge number. It's the deadliest month in 2 years. There are about 12 million people. The World Food Program says about 6 million are suffering from hunger. And in that group, a large number acute hunger. Many of them are children. Huge levels of, of kids who just are not getting enough to eat. People are skipping meals, trying to cope. And while the violence is in Port-au-Prince, we're also seeing it in the Rice Valley of the Artibonite. So that means those rice farmers are not getting out. And then with this current situation, because everything is shut down, there's no air bridge by the World Food Program or even, regular businesses. So how do you get things to the other parts of the country? I mean, remember, after the assassination, 5 weeks later, we had a major earthquake in the southern corridor. And last year, as of November, the gangs basically took over a key road and they were hijacking, trucks, food trucks, supply trucks. So we're very close. I mean, the police and the army managed to take control of the port. They got some fuel out because we really were down to like 4 days of fuel left. And you need fuel in order to get potable water. You need fuel for a lot of things. I mean, hospitals are running out of oxygen, those that haven't been overtaken by gangs and that are still operating, and they're few and far between because people can't get to work.
John Quill.
So I read here that one of the key leaders of these gangs are former police officers, and so we've heard through this evening about the unrest between the government, the police department. We see that the Biden administration has pledged over $100 million as it relates to relief, and pledging an additional $100 million for the defense fund. But my question is that even what kind of help can really help Haiti? It seems perplexed. I mean, are we talking about help that they would need help for the next 15 years? I mean, what specifically, in addition to just a financial pledge, what specifically can we do so that the U.S. can do so that Haiti can be sustainable and we're not back in this same predicament some years down the road?
Well, this is a result of policies, right? Because you need stability. And, we had another transition crisis, Rolla mentioned President Aristide in 2004. Okay. And then we brought in, we had a gang situation, not as bad as this one. And so, he was jettisoned into exile. And then you had 2 years of a transition government. You had democratic elections and you had Rene Preval who came in. And, and Haitians didn't give Preval a lot of credit, but you had stability, but you also had a UN peacekeeping force there that was providing the security. And then you had a major earthquake. And the policy of the US, the UN, and others was that you had to have an election in the middle of an earthquake where over 300,000 people had died. Well, they turned out to be very controversial elections. And then it was just one thing after the other. So in order for you to have economic progress, in order for you to deal with the humanitarian situation, you have to have stability. In order for you to have people to vote, hungry people are not going to be interested in voting. So I think that is where the conversations have to, how do we provide some stability here so that Haitians can take their futures in their hands?
This is there was a video here, it's in French, so Haitian gang leader Barbecue, Jacqueline, said this, quote, "Today we are taking the occasion to tell the international community to give Haiti a chance. Because what is happening in Haiti now, we Haitians have to decide who is going to lead the country and what model of government we want. We are going to figure out how to get Haiti out of the misery it is in now. Today, it's clear that the people who live in the shanty towns are the ones who know what they are going through. It is the Haitian people who are going to take their destiny into their hands. Haitian people will pick the person to govern them." So here's a question, and look, we've seen this in other countries. One country's gang leader is another country's revolutionary. And so if you have someone like this who they're calling a gang leader, if he commands a huge force, is this somebody who potentially might be a Haitian leader?
There are 300 gangs in Haiti, and so you should ask that to the other 299 gang leaders.
Well, maybe that commission needs to include a bunch of them, because clearly if they're the ones who are blocking the roads and controlling the airports and the ports, you may want to have them at the table. Mustafa, your question.
They're warring with each other, too. So.
Huh?
They've been warring with each other. They're showing a united front, but normally they're warring with each other.
Gotcha. Mustafa.
Yeah, thank you for everything that you've shared with us today. I've been to Haiti a few times. I've actually worked on some water quality issues there. And I also understand that there's a crumbling sort of medical infrastructure, if you will. I'm curious if you have any ideas, because we know there are going to be so many folks who are going to get sick from the things they're being exposed to. And then, of course, just because of the wars that are going on there, that, folks are going to get injured. Is there a way that outside folks can help on the medical infrastructure side of the question? I have a bigger infrastructure question, but I know we're short on time.
So I was told that, Cape Haitian, and I was in Cape Haitian in January of last year, when the flights start, they're still fairly quiet and stable. But yeah, if you're in Port-au-Prince today, you have cancer, God forbid, you can't even find a cancer doctor. You can't find a treatment because, one, you can't get to some of these places. And then we've lost so many of these medical professionals because the situation has just become untenable, unlivable. But, there are still organizations that are working. They are in the outskirts. They're outside of the capital, even some in the capital that, you can find ways to assist.
Well, it is. Look, I wish there was a Ralph Bunche, a Dr. King, or somebody who had the ability to be able to command respect of all different forces and be able to pull folks together. It is unfortunate we have to keep seeing this here. And last question for you, Jacqueline. So much of the tension, obviously, is on Port-au-Prince, but are other parts of the country fine?
We're starting to see the spread of gangs outside in rural communities, and this is very worrying because this is where people from the capital fled to have safety. And then in the last couple of months, what we've seen is efforts to disrupt life in there. So while a lot of the focus is on Port-au-Prince, there is a huge concern that we will start to lose the entire country as more and more of these armed groups spread. The 300 armed groups that the UN said exist in Haiti, they're not just in the capital, but they're around the country.
It is an absolutely beautiful country. When a previous Haitian leader was president, I was invited there. This was right before the earthquake actually hit, and have never had the opportunity to go there. My maternal, paternal great ancestors migrated from there. Like I say, gorgeous country, and I wish more people could be able to see it and enjoy it. But you got to have stability, you got to have peace, and you got to have control of the country for any of that to happen. So, Jacqueline Charles, we appreciate you breaking all of this down for us. Did we miss anything?
No, you got it.
All right. Well, we'll once I'm texting the CBC members. Hopefully, we'll get one of them on to talk about what they are doing to try to help the situation. So we appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Fanbase is a new era of social media and investment. This next generation social app has already raised $10 million and has just opened a new round to invest. For details on how to invest, visit startengine.com/fanbase or scan the QR code. Another way we're giving you the freedom to be you without limits.
As bad as Trump was, his economy was worse, and Black America felt it the most. He cut health insurance while giving tax breaks to the wealthy and big business. As president, I put money in pockets and capped the cost of insulin at $35 a month. There's a lot more to do, but we...
Haitian gang political leaders. Violence has escalated days after Prime Minister Ariel Henry said he would step down once the council was in place. A fire broke out in the capital of Port-au-Prince in its main prison. Today, the Senate confirmed Dennis Hankins as the new U.S. ambassador to the Republic of Haiti. The Congressional Black Caucus has been very much involved in what's going on there. Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett from the U.S. Virgin Islands is in studio to discuss what in the heck is going on. Glad to have you here.
Here with you.
So it's like one thing after another.
Yeah.
One thing after another. Yesterday, we had Jacqueline Charles with the Miami Herald on, talking about what's happening there. Mm-hmm. They had the meeting where they're forming this presidential council, mm-hmm. but mm-hmm. there were like 7 or 9 different plans that came there. And so for folks who don't know, what is the CBC's involvement with what's taking place in Haiti?
Sure. Well, we've been really watching this for some time now, members of the Congressional Black Caucus, requesting from the State Department that they give us briefings, that they give us a plan of what we intend to do as the United States. This is our close neighbor. 11 million people live in Haiti, and many more live here in the United States. Many are, great American citizens, and we need to be concerned. After the assassination of the prior President Moise, we knew that things were going to spiral out of control, and in fact, they did. The new president, who had never been elected by the people of Haiti, always had his legitimacy questioned. However, there's no legislature, no judiciary. There is nothing in place right now in the country of Haiti, and that has created a vacuum where the gangs have in fact gone in place, and they are basically at this point running the capital and much of the country. And so while there's an agreement to have Kenyan troops, 1,000 Kenyan troops to come into the country, the Kenyans are like, look, we can't come into a place that has nobody for us to report to. Hence, members of CARICOM have met in Jamaica to create a provisional government. And the idea is that no one in that provisional government would run for office. No one would be individuals that we knew were already bad actors, either having criminal records or been sanctioned by the UN. The Vice President, Kamala Harris, has been very engaged in this, pushing CARICOM, meeting with CARICOM as well as Blinken, who was part of this discussion, to make sure that something is done, that we are putting our money in. We as America are putting our money in, not putting troops in, but want to see something happen. And so members of the Black Caucus are also putting pressure on the majority, on the Republicans, talking with Greg Meeks, who is now the ranking member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, Maxine Waters with Financial Services, who has been always been involved in Haiti. And of course, the chair of the Black Caucus, Stephen Horsford, whose family is from the Caribbean. His mom is Trinidadian descent. We've all been talking and trying to push the Republicans to allow the release of the money.
And speaking of that, Democrat leader Hakeem Jeffries, go to my iPad, sent this letter to Speaker Mike Johnson, specifically stating, as he said, the situation on the ground in Haiti has rapidly deteriorated. House Republicans have refused to deliver the resources necessary to carry out this mission. Now is the time to release the full $50 million in security support. So,
Yes.
so that's being held up.
That's being held up. So that requires the signature of McCall, who is the chair of Foreign Affairs, and Greg Meeks, who's the ranking member. Greg Meeks has been telling us, I've been asking him to release this funding. We need that over 40 million to get these Kenyan troops. Now, look, that's not the answer, right?
Has he given a reason why he hasn't signed off on it?
He has hemmed and hawed and not given a reason. But my fear is that they are going to be using this, the Republicans, as a political impetus to have more migrants coming to the border, to then say that there's a crisis at the border, and indeed an even greater crisis at the border. Because we know that people aren't going to stay and continue to face famine, health and hunger insecurities that are going on in the country.
Then you've got folks like, go to my iPad, NBC News reported this, folks like Elon Musk and these other right-wing people are trying to scare people, saying, oh, cannibals are on the loose in Haiti.
That's outrageous.
They're saying, plan for, we played a video yesterday, Congressman Matt Gaetz was pressing the Department of Defense, there's going to be an invasion of people.
Exactly, that's the kind of language that they want to use. And we know that people, when they are facing these unrests, are going to try and leave. And Haiti is, in fact, very close to Florida, and people will do whatever they can for themselves and their families to be safe. One of those is making that treacherous journey to the United States to try and find safety. Why don't they then instead release the money so that we can provide the support to the Kenyans who want to come, want to be a part? Our Vice President, Blinken, are there in meeting with the leaders of the Caribbean nations who know this place better than most, and are trying to create a provisional government so that there can be some stability, so that we can move to an election, stabilization of power, and moving Haiti in the right direction. But Roland, one of the people that I don't see in this, and I keep asking, is what about France? While this is part of the United States problem, they're our close neighbor. You and I both know that France has extracted enormous millions of dollars from the Haitians over many years. They had an agreement after the revolution that they were supposed to, in fact, be paid for the loss that they were going to receive from not having slaves in Haiti. They have never returned that money, and they need to also be involved in this process at a much more granular level.
And again, as we were talking about what is going on there, and now all of a sudden Fox News cares about Haiti. And so the State Department, there was a news conference earlier today where they were talking about pulling Americans out. So I want to play this for our folks. Listen to this.
State Department briefing just a short time ago. Our Jillian Turner questioning Matt Miller about whether there are any plans to evacuate Americans who are currently in Haiti and want to get out. Listen to this exchange.
No, we are not planning for any. We are not actively planning for any evacuation. And I would remind you and others that Haiti has been a level 4 country with respect to our travel advisors since 2020. So what that means is for 4 years, we have been telling Americans, do not go to Haiti. Do not travel there. It's not safe to do so. And for those who are there, leave as soon as you can feasibly do so without putting yourself at risk.
So you don't anticipate, or put it this way.
So, again, I just want people to understand what's going on. If Fox News all of a sudden cares about a black country, we know exactly what exactly what their goal is.
Sure.
And so him answering that question, because I saw the White House, Simon Atiba posed, Biden is stranding Americans there. That is not the case.
That is not the case.
There have been numerous warnings about if you go there, you're going on.
You're on your own.
You're on your own. You're making that decision.
Sure. Even members of Congress, we have been begging to be able to go to Haiti. Greg Meeks, again, Congressman Meeks of New York, tried to go there, was on the ground for an hour, several hours before he had to be evacuated because the gangs were, in fact, found out that he was there and were coming towards where he was. So Americans, there are only essential workers that the State Department has there on the ground. We know that we need to keep channels for humanitarian aid there. But to say that Americans are stuck with cannibal Haitian black folk, that is not the case. And if the Republicans would, again, release the money, let the money go so that the Haitians can do what they need to do to stabilize their own government. Many of them, civic society, former government, business people, want to do what's right by their own country to bring it to peace and bring it to prosperity. And we're standing at right on the precipice to be able to help or to harm them.
And the thing that we're dealing with here is that you don't know who to put your face behind.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, it is so. I mean, when you saw this, I mean, they've implicated the widow of the president who was assassinated, his head of security, and so you now you're sitting here like, okay, well, who do you talk to? Who do you trust? The point about Kenya officials, we don't know who to report to.
Exactly.
I mean, so then I played yesterday. One of the gang leaders, Barbecue, said, "Hey, Haitian leaders will be determined by Haiti." Okay, well then, who is going to be even given the runway to try to repair the country? Sure.
There have been large discussions between civil society here in the United States, as well as those that are still in Haiti, the Montana Group, other organizations that have come together to try and come up with this plan for actors or, groups from, as you said, 7 different voting members, 2 observers of various groups to be able to work together to create this provisional transitional government. The other Caribbean leaders are as well engaged in this. But listen, former President Honore was appointed by the president who was assassinated days before his assassination. And now there's even stories that president that is now stepped down, Honore, made phone calls to some of the masterminds of the assassination. Whether that was happenstance, that, 6 degrees of separation, everybody knows each other, or he was involved, who can say?
Let's go to my panel for questions. Kevin, you're first.
All right, thank you, Roland, and thank you, Congresswoman, for joining us to shed some light on the tragic situation in Haiti. I think it's particularly tragic and troubling to see this playing out in, our nation, in our world's first free Black republic, that was born out of the first successful Black slave revolt. It's interesting to hear you talk about, some of the paths to peace and prosperity in the short term. But I'm curious, can you share some of your, insights with us as to how we can prevent a situation like this, or perhaps how the leaders of Haiti can prevent a situation like this from ever happening again?
Listen, that's beyond my wisdom on how to do this, how to not prevent this. Of course, there are textbooks that explain how this should and should not work. And I think the history of Haiti is one of such division throughout from its revolution to its independence, that we've got to peel so many layers back in terms of the real systemic attempt to ensure that Haiti never prospered in the first place, that is causing it to be where it is now. I talked to Haitian leaders. I'm so blessed that we have a Haitian member of Congress, Sheila Sherfilis McCormick, whose family is from Haiti, represents the Florida, but represents Haitian people as well, to talk about the needs at multiple levels, right? We don't just need military to support them in military or even in elections, but how do we support their school systems, health issues? And that needs to be multi-layered, and it needs to be Haitian-led. There are some enormously great civic societies members that I've been talking with and that are really engaged in this, and I think we just got to listen to them and give them the support that they need. They've come together in an incredible fashion. It's hard for Black folks to sit down and agree on anything. It's hard for anybody to agree on anything, but they have done the tough work, and I think it's just for us to take their lead.
Rebecca?
Thank you, Congresswoman, for being on the show tonight. Sure. So we know, or we've heard reports that over 500,000 illegal guns are flowing through Haiti and primarily coming from the United States. There's even an Episcopalian church that has been reported to be a part of this arms trafficking. We also know since the earthquake in 2010, billions and billions of dollars was raised for Haiti, and many of those dollars did not actually flow to the ground. So my question for you is, who do you think benefits from a Haiti that's not stable?
I think there are so many people that don't benefit. And most of it is, of course, as you discuss, economic in nature. Individuals who are grabbing for power for their own pecuniary gain. In the last summer, we saw, and when you talk about guns, that's something that's going on throughout the Caribbean. And a lot of it is related to drug trafficking. Guns are not manufactured in the Caribbean basin, but they sure enough are everywhere. And the Caribbean leaders spoke with the vice president, as well as with the State Department. And the vice president has rolled out initiatives that are going to be about how do we stop gun trafficking going into the Caribbean basin, which is part of an anti-drug initiative. Individuals who were part of the leader of the gangs, one of the leaders of the gangs, just got out of jail last year in the United States for drug money laundering and doing drug money laundering. So we know that drugs and guns, as well as death, it's the same way even in our inner cities, right? We know that where you see those things, you also see people profiting monetarily, and that's what's happening in Haiti as well.
Greg?
Thank you, Roland, and thank you, Congresswoman Plaskett. I also want to note that this is a very difficult thing, I'm sure, for members of the CBC, particularly since Joe Biden deported a bunch of Haitians early on in his administration. My question is related to Rebecca's, and really, how does the Congressional Black Caucus see its role, particularly in this difficult election season, in pushing the Biden administration around this issue of making sure this isn't a continuance of American foreign interference in Haiti as opposed to international support? The Mexican Secretary of Foreign Affairs was in Jamaica, as you say, as they're trying to put together this meeting and work with Haiti. And she said, we got to ensure that all actors at the table. We know, as you've mentioned, Jimmy Chirizier, that they call barbecue. But one time he was the U.S.'s man. Then they lock him up. And then Guy Philippe has showed up again. We know he was on the dole, too, for the United States at the time. How can the Congressional Black Caucus stake out a position that certainly supports the Haitian people? And you say keep the money going. Now, we know, of course, that Kenya was only reached out to because nobody in the core group, Brazil, Canada, France, wanted to lead the invasion or the occupation. How can the CBC push the Biden administration in this election year, realizing the difficult calculus of this being interjected in U.S. politics, but at the same time just making sure the U.S. doesn't continue its policy of foreign intervention as opposed to international support?
Well, I think what you're seeing is that the United States is looking to what are the Haitian people saying that they need. That's why we don't have troops on the ground there. We only have a very small Marine group that are looking at our embassy because we still need to keep essential workers there on the ground. And we don't want to be seen as intervention. And when you talk about people that the United States have supported that have turned out to be bad actors, these were people that Haitians supported that turned out to be bad actors. These are people that other Caribbean leaders said were going to be good actors. So I don't want it to appear that, the United States are the only ones that are funneling support into people who turn out to not be correct. But I think as the Black Caucus, what we have been doing is constantly pushing the State Department in terms of what is your policy and what are we hearing from our constituency that tells us that your policy may not be correct. That was what we did with regard to Ariel Henry, who the State Department and the Biden administration initially were supportive of. And then many of our members in New York and Florida and Massachusetts, other places, were saying, hey, our constituents, our Haitian constituents are telling us this is not the man.
and that you need to back up from that. You know that Daniel Foote was a special envoy for a while. His resignation was not just about the deportation, but his resignation was also his frustration over the State Department continuing to support Ariel Henry. And so we, as the Black Caucus, are trying to listen to the voices of Black America and its diaspora, which includes Haitians, Caribbean people, others who are hearing from their friends and family back home as to what is working and what's not working, and trying to keep everybody honest brokers in this. But I have to say that at this time, you know, America is, for the longest, Canada was saying that they were going to come in, they were going to support, they have the language skills, and then they decided, no, we've got cold feet, we don't want to be involved in this. And so who do you bring in to support and bring order when you do not have police officers? Police officers in Haiti had not been paid in almost a year. Many of them then turned to be gang members or leaders of gangs. We don't have a parliament. We don't have a ministry of justice there. There are not elected leaders. And so we are looking, in fact, to civil society to be the ones telling us where is the right place and how do we move forward.
All right, then. Congresswoman Plaskett, always a pleasure to have you.
Fanbase is a new era of social media and investment. This next generation social app has already raised $10 million and has just opened a new round to invest. For details on how to invest, visit startengine.com/fanbase or scan the QR code. Another way we're giving you the freedom to be you without limits.
As bad as Trump was, his economy was worse, and Black America felt it the most. He cut health insurance while giving tax breaks to the wealthy and big business. He stoked racial violence, attacked voting rights, and if reelected, vowed to be a dictator and, quote, get revenge. We can't go back. As president, I put money in pockets, creating millions of new jobs, and capped the cost of insulin at $35 a month. There's a lot more to do, but we can do it together. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve.
All right, folks, welcome back to Filtered. You could always tell when mainstream media actually cares about something based upon what they cover. Well, then once you start looking at that, then what does the coverage look like? So check this out. Go to my iPad. So if you go to Twitter, I want you to type in Twitter. I want you to type in Twitter, Haiti. Okay. And so what you see the top, you see top latest people, photos, videos. So here you got this right-winger, Benny Johnson, who posts this segment on Fox News. The Clintons supposedly sent billions in aid to Haiti through shady foundation. Now the country has descended into utter war. Fox News is asking, where does the $4.4 billion go? Now, we've had other people make the same allegation. Now, we had Jacqueline Charles on the show, Caribbean correspondent, award-winning Caribbean correspondent for the Miami Herald, who said, Roland, I covered this thing extensively. These things did not happen. You still got other people. The people try to come at me and say, oh, you're wrong. These things did happen. Okay, if you think they happened, please, then why don't you actually bring the facts forth as opposed to opinion? But check this out. So you go down here. So now here's the new one right here. Okay, so you got this right-winger Colin Rugg. U.S. veteran-led group Project Dynamo is conducting rescue missions to save Americans trapped in Haiti, which has been taken over by violent gangs. The nonprofit estimates that about 500 Americans are trapped. So I want y'all to see what's coming. Then you have here, breaking, an illegal from Haiti has been charged with raping a disabled girl. So then you see what they're doing now, where, Fox News, a migrant charged with sexually abusing kids at church, one from El Salvador, one from El Salvador, one from Haiti. We told you the other day what's going on. So here you have Florida Governor Ron DeSantis saying Florida agents have interdicted a vessel that had 25 suspected illegal aliens from Haiti. They had firearms, they had drugs. That vessel was interdicted, and those illegal aliens were turned over to the Coast Guard for deportation. Now, we also know that where some of the folks who were involved in the assassination of the president where they were from different parts. They were killers from Colombia, people from the United States. And so just understand this. So again, go back to my iPad. So you see right here, in terms of what they're doing. Oh, the rescue of 10 Americans by Corey Mills, and you see that, and you see, oh, there's that this Haitian illegal. You see racist Charlie Kirk. Another day, another violent crime by an illegal. This time, this man from Haiti. And then you see right here, Ron X is taking down the graphic video shared by Elon Musk and other right-wingers purporting to show cannibalism on Haiti. Okay, so then you go down here again, Fox News right here, State Department, U.S. not planning to evacuate Americans stuck in Haiti. Now, we told you before, and now all these videos, cannibalism in Haiti, they're going to be killing our people. Maria Bartiromo on Fox News. Oh, what's going on? They're not rescuing Americans from Haiti. We can go on and on and on. And remember, we showed you the other day how Matt Gaetz, they had a hearing, and he's out here going, oh, they are sitting here trying to, there's going to be a Haitian invasion of the United States. Do y'all actually believe Fox News gives a damn about Haiti? No, they don't. But the whole goal is to scare their white audience. Here they come. Here they come. First it was the Mexicans. Now it's the Haitians. Here they come. Y'all need to understand what's going on. People are not caring about Haiti. They don't actually care about how to fix what's happening in the country. It is about how do we scare white people into thinking, here they come. And again, Matt Gaetz, they're gonna be taking over South Florida. Now, they don't mind, follow me here. Matt Gaetz of the world, they don't mind when Venezuelans come here. They don't mind when Cubans come here. But damn them Haitians coming here. My panel joining me right now, Matt Manning, civil rights attorney out of Corpus Christi, Dr. Niambe Carter, associate professor, University of Maryland School of Public Policy out of D.C., Michael Imhotep, host the African History Network show out of Detroit. I mean, we see what's going on here, Niambe, and I just want our people just to understand how what's happening in Haiti is being used against us. This is part of the migrants are coming. The migrants are coming. These illegal aliens, they're coming, and this time they're black.
Well, it's part of a longer narrative that this country has been spinning about Haitians. I mean, you can take it back to the 19th century to independence, but even more recently, I mean, Haitians have been sounding the alarm about lots of things happening within their country. And your previous guest spoke about some of those things. And the United States was happy to turn a blind eye to it because it didn't suit our political interests. And here again, we have Fox News and others using Haiti as a political football. And the reality is, far fewer Haitians get let in than most others who are asking for asylum, like you talked about, Venezuelans, Ukrainians, etc. It's about race. Right. I mean, this is always about race, and it doesn't matter what happens to Haiti. I remember a few years ago when Pat Robertson was talking about the hurricane or the earthquake, and he said it was because of their religion. It's because they're devil worshipers. So Haiti is always sort of used to scare the West. Not only are they black, but they're defiant. They're violent. They have a foreign culture. They don't want to blend in. They're dangerous. Right. They're all of these things. So this does not surprise me one iota. And those who watch Fox and those who are sympathetic to that viewpoint will believe everything that they say because it fits the narrative that they want to have about Haitian people in particular, but Black people more generally. But Haitians have been singled out for a particular kind of maligning in this country, being banned because they were believed to have higher rates of HIV, which was not true, and all kinds of things. So this is stuff that's been happening to Haiti, unfortunately, for centuries.
Here, Matt, this is Florida Republican Senator Rick Scott, again going, oh no, they're coming.
Protecting our national security interests means that the military must be laser focused on the cold, hard facts, and not only what our adversaries are doing, but what they are capable of doing. The violence and unrest in Haiti is heartbreaking. It is a symptom of political unrest that has only continued to grow under this administration. Not only has the Biden administration taken an active role in destabilizing the region by appeasing Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua, but it appears that the White House is totally unprepared to deal with the consequences of the political unrest these regimes create and support. The policy of the United States cannot be that we just let everyone into our country totally unvetted anytime there's trouble around the world. That is what President Biden has done at the border with 8 million people pouring across, and after the Bush withdrawal from Afghanistan with 90,000 unvetted people coming in.
Now, again, Matt, they don't mind those Cubans and Venezuelans because when they get here, guess who they vote for? Republicans.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's interesting that you say that because I had a conversation not long ago with a Cuban migrant here who's very conservative, and all he did was trumpet conservative talking points and talk about how we need to close our borders, and the same things you're saying and the same things that Rick Scott was saying, frankly, were coming out of his mouth here in Corpus Christi, Texas, a Cuban migrant who was telling me about how, we need to close our borders. And I think, the thing that's really heinous about this is, the idea that Rick Scott would say, oh, what's happening there is tragic. But I mean, they're not concerned about humanitarianism. They're not concerned about making sure that all of the Haitians there are protected and have what they need. Instead, it's xenophobia. What you see is we need to make sure that these people don't come across our shores and become a dangerous monster that you need to be afraid of. I mean, even trying to invoke the fear about the number of people coming across the border when if it's people from Europe, if it's Ukrainians who are displaced, we don't have a problem with that. And I think Dr. Nyambi hit the nail on the head. It's about blackness. It's a racism response that, like you said earlier, was cordoned when it related to the people from Mexico or people from Central America, but which is even more heightened as it relates to the way they mongrelize people who are black, and particularly in this circumstance, people from Haiti.
It is beyond laughable to watch the lies that are unspooled constantly. And they're just all of a sudden, I saw this one video, Michael, where Will Cain was talking to some Haitian so-called expert, and dude was getting stuff just wrong left and right. And so again, they're just throwing stuff out. Matter of fact, here's the segment. Watch this here. Listen to this here.
So Haiti is descending into chaos here. It's another embassy over the last several years, this time under the Biden administration, that has to be evacuated.
Good morning, Will. Well, I think this is number 8 now that we've seen evacuated. We saw helicopters last night coming in to take U.S. personnel out. This is an example of a country where we've had a combination of neglect and conceit. Neglect, we haven't had an ambassador there in over 2 years. Conceit, we've been trying to prop up a prime minister who really was never elected and did not have any support from the population. So it's a little predictable what we're seeing here.
Yeah, there's this quote. So the former prime minister was assassinated back in 2021, and we put our weight behind this guy. There's this quote that we backed the wrong horse. We rode it into a dead end.
Okay, straight up lies. Straight up lies. In fact, the folks at Decoding Fox, this was they tweeted, Will Cain gets basic facts about Haiti wrong. The president of Haiti appointed the prime minister, then the president was assassinated. Cain said the prime minister was assassinated. The expert he had on didn't correct his mistake. So they're just throwing out crap just willy-nilly, no understanding at all, because again, the goal of the right now, and if y'all just look at all the stuff, oh, this gang leader barbecue, they're eating people, they're coming to America next, they're eating people. This is all about how do we demonize people of color to scare white people to vote for Trump.
Yeah, Roland, I was looking at some articles. I Googled some articles. I just Googled Fox News, Haiti to see what came up. And I saw some of the articles you talked about, and one dealing with conservatives blast Biden after Haitian migrant charged with raping teenage girl. Enough is enough. One talking about billions of dollars invested in Haiti since 2010. Earthquake have not improved country. We're still working, etc. What you're looking at is like you said, it's a fear campaign targeting Fox News audience, older white people, most of them without a college education. But this is also, I would argue, another variation of the great replacement theory that we know some Fox News hosts propagated, and a former Fox News host, Tucker Carlson, that white people were being replaced by immigrants, et cetera, and these people are going to vote for Democrats, et cetera. So you have that taking place here, and then you have now. What's interesting is they're saying, okay, you have all these immigrants coming across the border, et cetera. But at the same time, Republicans killed the immigration bill, which was probably the most conservative immigration bill proposed by Republicans in the last 30 years and accepted by the majority of Democrats. Senator John Langford of Oklahoma led that charge, and it was Donald Trump who killed the bill and told Republicans in both the House and the Senate, especially the House, to kill the bill. So now they're talking about the problem with immigration and these undocumented immigrants coming in, and they're going to have guns and things like this. But you all helped kill the bill. So I'm confused. Which one is it? Okay, but
also, I don't want to hear any Republican talking about security in Haiti when the Republican congressman over the committee there, Foreign Relations Committee, won't release the $50 million for security for Haiti.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it. 30 seconds.
Yeah, won't do that. But, at the same time, I think it's really important to really understand the history of Haiti. And going back to 1914, when U.S. Marines went into the Haitian National Bank and stole $500,000 worth of gold, and then the U.S. was in control of Haiti for about another 19 years up until 1934. Right. So there's a deep history.
Yeah, well, yeah. First of all, you don't get today without understanding that particular.
Fanbase is a new era of social media and investment. This next generation social app has already raised $10 million and has just opened a new round to invest. For details on how to invest, visit startengine.com/fanbase or scan the QR code. Another way we're giving you the freedom to be you without limits.
As bad as Trump was, his economy was worse, and Black America felt it the most. He cut health insurance while giving tax breaks to the wealthy and big business. He stoked racial violence, attacked voting rights, and if reelected, vowed to be a dictator and, quote, get revenge. We can't go back. As president, I put money in pockets, creating millions of new jobs, and capped the cost of insulin at $35 a month. There's a lot more to do, but we can do it together. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this.
What we're in Haiti is shocking and devastating as gangs rule Port-au-Prince and the country. You have a completely unstable political leadership. You have no one in control when it comes to the police or the military. And everyone is trying to find a solution to put the country back together. My next guest, Monique Liska, is a journalist, former UN official, and member of the commission to find a Haitian solution to the crisis. She is a native of Haiti, and again, is a resident, and she joins us right now. Monique, glad to have you on Roland Martin Unfiltered. First of all, how long have you been there?
I have been there since early January after spending the holidays with my family in Miami.
And how long? I mean, obviously we've seen tumult going on there for quite some time, but really since the assassination of the president, the country has been thrown into turmoil. How bad has it gotten? You're there. You're seeing it up close and personal.
It's gotten very, very, very bad. We had the riots in 2018, and things were pretty bad then. And every once in a while, there were massive demonstrations against corruption. There were demonstrations for social justice. corruptions, anti-impunity, protest movements against anti-impunity. And then from 2018 up until 2021, that pretty much was the rhythm. The gangs were there. They were kidnapping, they were killing, they were raping. And then Jovenel Moïse died, the president, in 2021. He was assassinated in his bedroom, and a prime minister came about. The prime minister was illegitimate because, in fact, there was no parliament, no elections have been held for practically 8 years. So the prime minister was contested pretty much from the time he came. And so what has happened is that he did nothing to stop the gangs. And as a matter of fact, there are gang members who have said they have actually met with him. And I think one of the things that has to be understood, and I really want to be very clear about that because it is important, there has been an association of leaders, political leaders working with the gangs since about 2011. This is not a new phenomenon in Haitian history, but it is a significant phenomenon now because in the last 2 weeks, the gangs have basically taken over the whole administration of the country. They have taken over the country. This is what I could say, starting from 2 weeks ago, Thursday. They walked in the streets with their machine guns all over streets. It was not one street. It was not one gang member. There were like 10s on one street, 20 on another street, 10 on another street. And we lived it pretty much as it was going on because TV and radio was doing it live. And then a gang leader had a press conference, really, a gang leader held a press conference and said the gangs had come together and that they were going to basically take over, and they wanted Ariel Henry, the prime minister, who was at the time, I believe, in Puerto Rico or in the United States, not to come back. And in fact, he has not come back. So in essence, the gangs control the country because Haiti is a way that the capital is centralized. It's a nerve center of the country. So they hold the nerve center of the country. The airport has been closed now for 10 days, although other parts of the country are functioning. The northern part is a little calm. The southern part is somewhat calm also. But here, where I am, with about 4 million other Haitians, it is terror that we are living.
See, the thing that is hard to fathom is, one, when you have political leaders who are aligned with the gangs, then you've got military or police folks aligned with the gangs. Who the hell do people in Haiti trust?
And the trust factor is important. And when the commission was beginning its work, we interviewed all political parties, and we also interviewed a lot of civil society. And 2 items came up all the time. One of them was the lack of justice, and the other one was lack of trust. And what has happened in terms of the association of the gangs is that politicians get the gangs, or some politicians have even created gangs, according to a UN report. They have armed the gangs. They have validated the gangs. They have empowered the gangs. So to get in power, they get gang members, or they create the gang to accompany them. And to stay in power, they do the same. So the idea is to terrify us. It is to control us. It is to make us vote the way they want us to vote. It is not for us to be a free will. So yes, we may have freedom of expression, but now we have no freedom of movement. Now there are no elected officials at all in Haiti, none whatsoever. No mayor, no member of parliament, no president, nothing at all in terms of elected official. So it is a free fall, and nobody trusts the traditional politicians. In fact, a lot of them are under sanction from Canada. Some of them are also under sanction by the United States.
So how do you have a path moving forward if people don't know who to trust? I mean, who can Haitians rely on that is credible, that's not aligned with gang members, drug dealers, or other thugs? What's the future?
We've been thinking about that a lot. And there is what I would call a kind of virtuous circle of people who are not aligned with the gangs, whether they be sociologists, university professors, former government employees, agronomists, former UN staff, etc. So you have thousands of Haitians who are clean. When I say clean, who are not to corruption, who are honest people, hardworking people, who work hard, and they are either in civil society or they are running their businesses. And a lot of them do not want to be involved in politics for really one good reason, because the former dictator that we had, Papa Doc and Baby Doc, so annihilated Haitians and the political class that there is a huge trauma in that Haitians say politics is dirty business. And which is unfortunate, because right now, since 2011, the politicians have proved right that politics is dirty business. But there are Haitians with strategic minds, there are very intelligent Haitians who have proven themselves here and abroad. For example, in the United States, there are Haitians who can do this. A lot of them, though, do not want to be involved in politics. And that is the major challenge now. It is to get them to say, the Republic needs you now. The citizens of Haiti need you now. This is not the time to stand aside. This is the time to come and provide your support, to provide your expertise, your experience. But there are people. It is just getting them out to actually do the work. And that is the major challenge. But right now, there are a lot of some politicians, some people from the private sector, some people from the diaspora, because there is a Haitian American organization that is working also, and some people from the political class who are trying to find a solution, put together a kind of provisional commission that can actually run the country. It's going to be extremely challenging because the gangs are saying they want somebody else in the presidential offices. So it's going to be extremely challenging, particularly because security is a major issue. Plus, there is a humanitarian situation, because what happens is when the gangs want to spread out and gain more territory, because that's how they came from 10% of Port-au-Prince to now controlling about 80% of the capital city. It is at one time they go and they just overrun different neighborhoods, and people have to grab a bag quickly and leave those areas. And some of these people are in schools, some of these people are in stadiums, some of these people are just out, even though it's raining a lot these days. So their people are, it's about 400,000 people who are in that situation. They call them displaced because they had to leave their homes. And then you have people who are hungry. The UN says there are about 4 million Haitians. That's about 1/3 of the population that is going hungry tonight. And there are thousands of women who have been raped. When I say women, some girls, young, like 11 years old, 12 years old, who have been gang raped, sometimes in front of their families. So it is a huge emergency. It is a disturbing, horrifying situation that we are living in. So whoever comes and takes power, and it will have to be a kind of communal almost kind of power, because you need that to make peace, is going to have a very, very, very difficult, tough time to bring things to somewhere where we can go out. It's horrifying what we're going through. It's horrifying.
Monique, and you are trying to leave the country, correct?
I had to go to Miami because we are trying to do some advocacy with Congress. We have meetings with the Institute of the Black World. We're trying to do a rally in Washington. We have a meeting on 21st with the Congress. We're supposed to have appointments with perhaps some officials at State Department, and the airport is closed. I was supposed to leave last Friday. My flight was canceled. I was supposed to leave this Saturday, tomorrow. My flight was canceled. And the worst part of it is when I go to make a new reservation, nothing, because American Airlines is not able to say when the airport might close, when they might be running. So yes, I am here, stranded. Fortunately, I am home. Fortunately, I have a garden. Fortunately, I live in a rural area where there are farms and I can get vegetables and I can get some food. So I am really privileged in that sense, but I am sorry that I will have to miss all of these events that have been planned so that we can do advocacy for Haiti.
All right, then. Monique, we certainly appreciate it. Stay safe, and we just hope things turn out for the better for Haitians.
Fanbase is a new era of social media and investment. This next generation social app has already raised $10 million and has just opened a new round to invest. For details on how to invest, visit startengine.com/fanbase or scan the QR code. Another way we're giving you the freedom to be you without limits.
As bad as Trump was, his economy was worse, and Black America felt it the most. He cut health insurance while giving tax breaks to the wealthy and big business. As president, I put money in pockets and capped the cost of insulin at $35 a month. There's a lot more to do.
The situation is worse day by day. The country's transitional government is struggling to take shape, and the island's powerful gains continue to make advances in the capital, Port-au-Prince. Almost half of Haiti's people are struggling to feed themselves, and several areas are literally close to famine. Security is an issue. Well, retired Army Lieutenant General Russell Honore, many of us remember him for his work after Hurricane Katrina, joins us right now. General Honore, glad to have you here. You talked about that there is something that America can do to help the security of the country that is in our control. Explain that.
Yes, Roland, thanks for talking to this subject. Haiti has been ignored. Not just this administration with the wars in Gaza and Ukraine going on and the ongoing election, but the entire mainstream media has been slow to report on what's happening in Haiti. Many times I think people get Haiti fatigue because going back to, and most of us can remember back to the earthquake, Haiti has never fully recovered. For instance, the United States has had 4 different ambassadors in Haiti in the last 4 years and currently operating with a chargé affair. Haiti has not been a priority of the State Department. Before it was Gaza and Ukraine, it was Afghanistan and Iraq. Haiti has never been a priority, and it shows. Look, we've been to Haiti, we've been engaged, we've invaded Haiti over more than you can count on one hand, and we still don't have a solution. We can't do something, Roland, by number one, we think the President of the United States needs to address the people of Haiti to build confidence that we're going to do it different this time. We're going to use the people of Haiti to come up with their own plan, Haiti, led by Haitians, supported by the U.S. and the other international community. That's what needs to happen. We need the president to address this himself straight up right now.
Well, and what you have is you have Republicans who are, let me know if we lost a general there. You've got Republicans out here who are trying to hype this situation, who they're out here talking about, oh, there's going to be a Haitian invasion of Florida. You got Fox News scaring people to death, hyping this whole thing, which we all know is absolutely BS as well. And so that's really part of the issue. You talked about the need for a ambassador to Haiti. That has actually happened. Go right here to my. If you go right here to my, what's going to happen is you go to my iPad. Check this out. This was just last week. I mean, U.S. Senate confirms Biden nominee Hankins to be ambassador to Haiti, and that is Dennis Hankins, a career diplomat. And again, this is the first ambassador they've had in Haiti for 2.5 years. He was confirmed in an 89-1 vote. He previously was ambassador to Mali and Guinea. And so, but one of the things that you talked about was that the United States controls weapons for the Haitian military and police. Explain that to people who don't understand.
Yeah, you're not going to believe this, Roland, but the Congress passed a rule that they would not supply weapons to the Haitian army and the Haitian police. Nothing but pistols. That's when we tried to provide some armored vehicles last year to the Haitian government. They had to come from Canada, and the United States flew them in because we got a rule in Congress that we will not arm the Haitian army. That is ridiculous. It's was probably done after repeated coups happening in Haiti out of an emotional response. But Haiti needs an army to protect itself and to back up the police. Democracy has not worked well in Haiti. Haiti's had several opportunities to make it work, but outside influence and greed has destroyed the democratic process, and the people that suffer are the poor people of Haiti. We need a rule change in the Congress supported by the White House. This is why the president needs to come out and explain to the American people what the hell's going on in Haiti and why is it so hard to get something there, because most of the people in Haiti are reluctant of us to send the Marines in again, like they were there for almost 10 years at one time, and they had the blue hat helmet UN soldiers there for over 10 years, and nothing improved. We need a plan, Haiti. Right now, the CARICOM, the Caribbean nations, have put forth 8 or 9 people. Most of them are from one political party, the Montana Party, who was sponsored by Representative Maxine Waters and the old Aristide regime. The people of Haiti will not accept this proposed solution, and the Congress need to approve weapons going to the Haitian army and the Haitian police.
To your point,
Haitians to solve this.
To your point, go to my iPad. This was an article Jacqueline Charles, the award-winning Caribbean correspondent for the Miami Herald, wrote in September 2023. While international community is divided on the Haiti military, support for an army grows. In her article, it says there is one solution that Washington is not prepared to support: using the Haitian army. A State Department spokesperson told the Miami Herald that while the United States remains deeply concerned by the ongoing lawlessness associated with armed gangs and supports a Haitian-led solution, quote, the U.S. government is statutorily prohibited from providing assistance to the armed forces of Haiti. And so they go on to say that Haiti's modern-day military, created by U.S. Marines after 1915 American occupation, evolved into the army that became known as perpetrators of coups and some of the worst human rights abuses in the hemisphere. Now, the article says that Haiti has about 1,500 soldiers. But as you articulated, the article says they have no assault tanks, no armored vehicles, no combat helicopters, or even high-powered rifles, and lack any ability to confront gangs. While Mexico currently provides military training, the institution continues to face resistance from others in the international community, especially from the U.S. State Department. Okay, this is real simple. How in the hell can you complain about security if the folk who should be providing security can't do it? Can you hear me?
I'm not hearing Roland.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, Roland.
Yeah, what's crazy is how in the hell can we talk about security if the people who's supposed to be providing security can't provide security and the gangs are overwhelming them because they got better weapons?
Hello, this is the Western Hemisphere. We're supposed to be the boss here. We're supposed to be the boss in the Western Hemisphere. We give Israel over $10 million a day and give Egypt over $10 million a day. Most years we don't even give that much to Haiti to protect itself. We've got to change this, and it lies in the laps of the United States Congress, and we need to appeal to the president to speak to this. Just like he talked about Gaza, just like he talked about Ukraine, why in the hell the president ain't talking about Haiti?
Great point. Go to my panel, Michael.
All right, quick question here. Retired Lieutenant General Honore. I know that I read an article from the Griot.com that talked about how Democrats in Congress want to send aid to Haiti, but Republicans won't budge. Can you talk about that for a minute? And then also, Jake Sullivan announced back, April Ryan reported for the Griot.com on March 13th. Jake Sullivan announced a total of $333 million in aid will go from the U.S. to Haiti to address political and humanitarian crisis taking place. Can you talk about those, please?
Yes, we get the money appropriated for Haiti, but not executed because the government there is not prepared to execute it. The humanitarian money is being sent, but once the supplies arrive at the port, the gangs are in charge of the supply chain. So this is a combined problem of multiple scales. So we have to get the security to support the Haitian police and the Haitian army so they can open the supply routes. The gangs are controlling the majority of Port-au-Prince. And now they're going into the neighborhood because they live off of contraband. We've got to get the Congress to provide enough money to supply the army, the police, and to fund the army as the government. This is the Western Hemisphere. We give Israel over $10 million a day, and nobody say a damn thing about it every day.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, General. Look, you're a military man. First of all, look, I've never served in the military, but there's some basic stuff you know. First, you have to get control of the ground. That's first. I don't care if we're talking about your house or we're talking about a country. That requires security. Once security gets control of the ground, then leadership then can make their decisions. Otherwise, they running around scared to death because they're scared that the gangs are going to kidnap them, take them out. So the United States can talk all we want to. They can issue press releases, but you have to establish security. You just said it, the supply lines. Security must take back the roads, must take back the port, must take back the the airport. This ain't rocket science. It's really military 101.
Let me tell you something, Roland. If we had one Taliban or Russian in Haiti, we would have invaded it already. America is focused on terrorists in the Middle East and from Russia. They don't give a damn about what's happening in Haiti. And it's time that the White House and the Congress change that attitude, and we provide the assets that the Haitian government, as such as it is, as well as the Army and the police, the supplies and the equipment and the training, and the CIA operatives to go in there and start taking the damn gang leaders out. That's what needs to happen.
But before I go to my next panel, this was a story that was done a couple of days ago. So General Laura Richardson, commander of the U.S. Southern Command, she said during an event at the Atlantic Council, we wouldn't discount that U.S. troops could be involved in an international effort in Haiti. Quote, we are prepared if called upon by our State Department and Department of Defense. But she added she doesn't envision a U.S.-only solution to the deteriorating situation. So what she's saying there, hey, if the United States has troops there, it's a part of an international effort, not an American invasion, if you will, of Haiti. Do you believe that that makes sense, having an international force that includes U.S. troops?
Absolutely, I 100% agree with General Richardson. I know very well. She knows what she's doing. And we need people that speak the language, some form of the French language that can communicate with the Haitian people. And they need to be Haitian-led, Roland. We're going in supporting the Haitian police and the Haitian army as we would go in and do this operation. But this needs to be happening now. We need to have people on the way to Haiti now to establish security and provide food and open the chain so people can get gas and water and food and medicine and open the hospitals back in Haiti. The gangs have taken the damn hospitals out. When this happened in Gaza, everybody get all pissy about it. It's happening in Haiti every day. Hospitals taken down, food being stolen and or prevented from getting the people that need it. We need that same noise to be made about Haiti.
Matt?
They're people too.
Matt?
Yes, General Honore, my question is kind of in the same vein. Is there a recent example of a circumstance where the United States sent in a security force to stabilize a region and then handed it over to the government that you can think of that would be, appropriate for an example of what we should be doing in this circumstance?
Well, let me tell you that. We've been to Haiti about 5 times and left. We're still in South Korea over 60 years. We're still in Germany over 70 years. The places that we have been successful in making peace, we're still there. We went, we didn't leave. That should have been the case in Haiti with a cooperative standing up and supporting the government of Haiti, just like we supported the governments in Iraq and to a certain point in Afghanistan. We've never done that long term in Haiti. We've always gone in with the intention of hurry up, get in, and get the hell out. Because for obvious reasons, that's not a place a lot of Americans want to hang around. But Haiti has a lot to offer. They have the capacity to fill a lot of the needs we need in terms of skilled workers, and for us to invest economically. We invested in Taiwan, we invested in China, we invested in Vietnam. We've never made a substantial investment to help the economy of Haiti. Without an economy, this is what we end up with, is a contraband economy. We could do better than that, Roland.
Absolutely. Tyler, go ahead, right ahead.
No, I would say no. Thank you, General, for your service. I think, as you mentioned before, today and forever, we must listen to Haitians. Let Haitians tell the story. Let's engage with Haitian journalists. I think it's clear to point out, as you mentioned before, there has been close to almost 400,000 people being displaced from violence. And I would like to ask you, like, what do you think is the need outside, in addition to the resources of the federal government stopping deportations of Haitians from the United States back to Haiti as an importance as well?
Well, one of the things, we need to stop the exploitation of the Haitian workers. You know how much a person making in Haiti working in a garment factory? About $3 a day. Making shirts that sell in New York for $130 a day. And they stitch most of the baseballs that are used in the United States. That's a crying damn shame for American companies to go there and pay people, talking about a living wage. I'm talking about $3 a day, Roland, is to go on a living wage. It's what they pay people in Haiti. We need to change that. There are no codes. We go to Haiti and we break every damn code. We are importing weapons into Haiti and giving to the gangs. The gangs have gotten out of control because of collaboration with some of the previous governments. And if we don't watch out, Aristide is going to be in charge of Haiti again. We know what happened the last time he was in there, Haiti. Roland.
All right. General Honore, we certainly appreciate it. Hopefully the White House will take your advice, and we would certainly be posting this, and I'm quite sure they will be hearing what you had to say.
We hope to hear something this weekend from the president about Haiti.
Gotcha.
God bless Haiti.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much, sir.
Thank you.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you.
Fanbase is a new era of social media and investment. This next generation social app has already raised $10 million and has just opened a new round to invest. For details on how to invest, visit startengine.com/fanbase or scan the QR code. Another way we're giving you the freedom to be you without limits.
As bad as Trump was, his economy was worse, and Black America felt it the most. He cut health insurance while giving tax breaks to the wealthy and big business. As president, I put money in pockets and capped the cost of insulin at $35 a month. There's a lot more to do, but
The citizens of Haiti of starvation as gangs continue to wreak havoc in the unstable country. The gangs are capitalizing on the country with no one, frankly, at the helm. Joining us now to give us a comprehensive overview of the situation that's there, and of course, there's historical context there, are folks, advocates involved here. The CEO and co-founder of Politicking, Winkuni Siant, and Jean Siant, CEO of Nation Enterprises. So first of all, I got to also the former director general at telecommunications and the special advisor to a former prime minister. Glad to have both of you here. Winnie, I'll start with you. This is so the issue I just saw over the weekend, Dominique Dupuy, I think I pronounced her name correct, withdrew from the special commission that they are putting together. And so it seems like everything is hinging on this commission. Is that what you're hearing as well? And when do they believe that commission is going to be fully in place to begin this process of trying to restore some leadership and some order? What's happening there?
Yes, Roland, thank you for the question, and thank you for having myself and my father on. This presidential committee the council is really right now what it seems like everyone's hinging on as a solution forward in Haiti. However, unfortunately, there has not been a lot of involvement by the people of Haiti to actually create this commission. And with the resignation of Dominique Dupuy, which was arguably one of the most qualified people on this council, it's extremely concerning. She was the only woman on the council. She was the youngest person on the council at 34. And unfortunately, both sexism and ageism have been at play here as we see her withdrawal from the council. As far as a timeline, unfortunately, the presidential council hasn't really offered one. And I think right now, people are hoping that 7 different presidential candidacies, 7 different presidential parties can actually work together to create a solution for Haiti. But unfortunately, Roland, I think that this might be yet another dead end.
John, please weigh in.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep, we got you. Go ahead.
Yes, just like Winnie said, I think for the sake of the people, the Haitian people has never been consulted to know exactly what they want. Those 7 political parties that put themselves together to choose each one a presidential counselor is not the solution. There has been no census. There has been no poll to see where really the people are heading. And I must say, the most popular presidential candidates, they did not send anybody to that council. That's one. Secondly, you can see where sexism play a great role. I mean, this is the 21st century. Only one lady out of 7 got nominated, and she got so much threat and harassment. She had to leave. She had to quit. And this is to tell you, the Haitian diaspora has all the human resources in it, and yet there's been roadblock for them to participate in almost anything in the country. So that's why everybody think that this presidential commission is not going to work for Haiti.
I've heard a number of people say the people haven't been involved. Okay, how do you do that? I mean, normally you have representatives of the people. Okay, how do you get the people to have a say in the forming of the commission? What does that look like?
Well, first of all, go ahead, Winnie.
So my particular thoughts is the first issue is that there's been little to no involvement from the Haitian diaspora. Even if things are dire in the ground in Haiti, there's plenty of people here that are Haitian born that have now left the country due to the violence and political instability that still have not been involved in the political process. And so we have to consult folks that have been on the ground and have the experience in the space. Secondarily,
I want to stop you there. How do you do that? So, for instance, is there a prime organization made up of Haitians in the diaspora that represent those interests? So how do you do that? Who talks to who? And I mean, that's what I'm getting at. So I understand the concern. I understand you want folks in the Haitian diaspora and Haitians in the country to have a say, but there has to be a conduit for that to happen. What does that look like?
So,
well, if I can piggyback on you, Winnie, we have many different diaspora organizations that is well known, and it's worldwide. They have branches in France, in Canada, in other parts of Europe, and in all the major cities of the U.S. They even have a convention in Louisiana with retired General Honore, and they were left out. There is an organization on the ground that part of the civil society. They were not consulted. So it doesn't mean like the parties that have the biggest radio speaker, that does not represent the people. What do you do with the old army guys that have a big organization? They were not consulted. You know, where is the Protestant church? They were not consulted. They only talk to the Catholic Church. Where are the Voodooism? The Voodoo people, which is an African country with 95% of the people practice the Voodoo religion, they were not consulted. So, in other words, it was a choosing game. And I can tell you, once Brian Nichols give his tweet, what he says, that's what goes. And we said, and this is why ILRE was kept for over 30 months over there. The Haitian diaspora has 95% of the human resources of Haiti that can help Haiti coming out. Wyclef said it. You have all the voices that in the diaspora that says it. The know-how of Haiti is outside of Haiti. How can we bypass them and just go to a choosing seven-party commission that doesn't have even 40% of the people of Haiti? This is not the way things should be done. Okay. The Haitians among themselves could have formed those commissions and give 2 or 3 names to choose from, but not the way it's done. Okay. It's a dicta.
All right. So right then, Winnie, what's next then? Okay. So if all of these other entities were not consulted and they were not involved, okay, what's next? Are all of these entities coming together? Are all of these entities coming together themselves and saying, okay, you got that commission, we're forming our own group as well, and we want to make recommendations? I mean, what's happening there? Because again, I get not reaching out, but I'm still looking at how do you get something done?
So, Roland, previously there was the Montana Accord, which was proposed that actually was a bit more inclusive than what we're seeing currently with this current council. The Montana Accord included 15 groups. We also, in terms of organizations, there's the National Haitian American Elected Officials Network. These are Haitian Americans that are currently sitting in the office in the United States. I think that would be a great place to start in terms of community building, in terms of coalition building.
What are they saying? What are they saying?
They're saying that they want to be included.
They're saying exactly the same thing. Why does not everyone, why they didn't reach out to everyone to form that commission? You don't need 7 guys. Listen, the Haitian history tells you those Haitians that put together and make that revolt in 1904, they are from different tribes, but they were former soldiers.
Right.
So they make the revolution, but they're not accustomed to sit together and to solve an issue in 1 or 2 days, like it is done in other countries.
Okay.
You have to give them time.
Right. So here's my question. Here's the question then, and maybe one of you can answer this here. Okay, so I got it. You've got different factions. Okay. Who then calls the sit-down meeting? Who then mediates the conversation? Who?
Right now?
Oh, yeah.
Right now.
Go ahead, Winnie.
But right now it's CARICOM.
No. That's what I mean. So I know what CARICOM is doing. So what CARICOM is doing in terms of this presidential commission, what I'm speaking about, all the groups that y'all are talking about that are not familiar with, frankly, having to negotiate these things. Okay, what's the entity? So it's sort of like if I believe that there was an issue that we need to be addressing, I would then go, all right, I'm gonna call a meeting, and I'm gonna call X number of people, X number of organizational leaders, civil rights groups, D9, I can go down the whole line. I'm gonna call all those people. I'm gonna call them in. Got it. So the question now is, who calls this meeting? Who mediates it? How do we actually get it done so we can begin to make progress? I get what CARICOM is doing, but what y'all talking about is something separate. Got it. Who's calling that meeting?
I can tell you right now, there are organizations that are meeting on a daily basis, because once CARICOM fell, they're gonna look around for other people, and those other people are meeting on a daily basis. Those are other Haitian political parties. Those are the Voodoo representative, the Protestant Church representative. They are meeting right now to give an answer to the problem, not the way CARICOM wants it. These people that were chosen could be part of it. And we don't need 7 guys. You're going to have 7 presidents? You're going to have 7 troops guarding each president with 20 policemen in a country where there is no police presence. You're going to have 7 armored cars for those guys, 7 armored cars for their wives and their kids. What are we talking about? It's mounting to over 500 people that you're going to monopolize just for a transitional commission that could have 1, 2, or 3 people maximum in it to do this thing. And then this is the beginning. What they're going to do when they have to choose a prime minister? Can you imagine? In the meantime, people are dying every day. So the way that should have worked is to take those 7 groups and said, okay, you guys put together, choose 1 guy to be the president. And then in the minister's position, everybody could be part of that government and then lead the country to this transition. But when you take 7 guys, they have the same power. So you have 7 presidents. Okay? So It's going to be really a cacophony. It's going to be a cacophony.
Winnie, go ahead.
So my thoughts are that we need to mobilize, we need to consolidate, we need to talk to the diaspora. As far as your question, Roland, as who is supposed to call this meeting to action, I think, like I suggested, the National Haitian American Elected Officials Network is a great place to start. These are people that are trusted community leaders here. Most of the organizations and communities and constituents they lead are Haitian communities, so there's already buy-in there. And so I think that's a great place to start. Unfortunately, anything that's coming out of the United States, there's a deep amount of mistrust because of the storied history between Haiti and the United States. And so I think that's one place to start. I also think we need
hold on. If those, well, hold up. So if the distrust is there, but this body of elected officials are from the United States, are they trusting them? Or is it going to be, we don't trust them either?
I do think because they're Haitian and Haitian Americans, there will be trust there because there are people that are trusted both by the United States, but they are elected officials.
Got it.
And they are Haitian of Haitian descent. So I think it's the best of both worlds.
Got it. Okay. Well, listen, I would love if y'all could pass on the leadership of that network. We would love to talk to them because when we've had multiple people on talking about this, I've seen the different comments coming out of the federal government as well. And again, like any issue, it always comes down to whether we're talking about Haiti, whether we're talking about, gangs in the United States, whether we're talking about any sort of dispute, it comes down to who can call the parties together, who has the credibility and the integrity and the leadership to get it done. That, to me, I think, is really what's important. And when you have so many different factions and voices or whatever, there has to sort of be that sort of gathering of the people. And so if this thing that CARICOM is doing is not it, then something else has to be done. I just would love to see that happen because otherwise I think we're going to be on this same thing repeatedly. Well, distrust, don't know, don't like, I don't like them, I don't like them. And then you have no leadership in Haiti, you got no military, no police, no structure, no nothing, and chaos reigns. And frankly, the only people who are mobilized is organized crime, gangs. Yeah. And that obviously ain't the answer.
It's
okay, Mr. Martin.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you one name now. You call that guy, problem solved tomorrow. It's called General Russell Honore.
No, I know. Hold up. I had him on the show Friday. I had him on Friday.
Oh, you had it? Okay. This guy, every Haitian trusts him. And then he knows Haiti deeply. So you take him and you said, okay, I want that thing solved. He will get you there because he's been in the Haitian community for a long time, holding meetings. Yesterday, he had a meeting. Every single week, he's meeting with different group of Haiti. So you're saying that the United States government
should be communicating with retired General Russell Honore on this as opposed to just depending upon State Department diplomats?
Definitely.
Okay.
And when you interview this guy, you're gonna see how much he knows about Haiti, the schematic, the upper class, the professional class. He is in contact with all of them. So across the board, this is somebody that you could take that he's not Asian. So he's not gonna be for this group or over this group. He sees a problem, and you know what he's done in the past. So that's what got him the trust. You take someone like that, tomorrow morning everybody will get to work, and then he will do some good for Haiti.
All right,
I believe.
Well, I will run that by the White House and see what the response is. I appreciate both of y'all being on the show. Thank you so very much. Keep us abreast of what's going on. Any way we can help, we'll try to do so.
Thanks so much, Roland.
Thank you very much.
Congo, I'm not trying to simplify what is a very complex issue in Haiti, but when I think back to Ralph Bunche, who became the first African American who won the Nobel Peace Prize, and the negotiations that he was involved in. When I think about the things Dr. King was involved in, when I think about Reverend Jackson bringing home hostages, I mean, when I think about these various, complex negotiations, it requires there to be a trusted person who's trusted by multiple sides, who can bring people together to have the dialogue needed. But it's like nearly every conversation that we've had with Haiti, it's, well, this group, and they weren't included, and they weren't included, and they weren't included, and they weren't included, and they weren't included. And it's sort of like, okay, how do we begin to advance? How do we move? Because right now, everything is stuck. You had an assassinated president, prime minister asked to resign, CARICOM, folks not trusting them, not trusting those leaders. Everyone talks about this sister Dominique Dupoy. We're trying to reach out to her. I hope I pronounced her last name correctly. Being young and vibrant. And when I think about why is that important, because also young voices matter. Senegal just elected a 44-year-old president, and the young voices were there. But you gotta have somebody who has the credibility.
Yeah, absolutely. And I got to be honest, people on the ground are always going to be skeptical of leaders from the outside, even if they are Haitian or of Haitian descent. And so, when the sister mentioned that, some of the leaders, who are part of the diaspora should be part of the conversation, people on the ground who've been forced to stay or have chosen to stay are going to be skeptical of that, because people have talked about the United States influence and how it has ruined Haiti over the years. So we have to be mindful of that. A second thing we have to be mindful of is that we can bring all of these different parties to the table, and this person can bring that person, and that person can bring that person. But if no one's stopping the violence, then no leadership is going to come in and change the situation. Congress has it on the books. General Honore was talking about this on your show last week. Congress has it on the books in the United States, where they're not going to help build the Haitian army. They're just going to send them pistols, and they're sending pistols against bazookas, from these gangs who are getting arms from Florida, from the United States. So the gangs are getting supplied, not from Congress, obviously. The gangs are getting supplied with weapons that are coming from America, but nothing is happening as it relates to the military. So Haiti doesn't have an army. Also, the United States Republicans have blocked Kenyans going in there because they need U.S. funding as well to go in and do their work. And so we need to focus right now on not peacekeeping, but peacemaking. Mobilizing the forces that need to be in place to get in there and stop the violence. And then, Roland, what you're talking about these trusted sources, you are absolutely right that everybody wants to have their say in it. But until people actually coalesce, and maybe it'll be somebody like an Honore who is respected on the ground, like the brother was saying, but until we stop the violence, all of these conversations about who's going to be involved in the process, it's not going to go anywhere, because they're going to be leading a nation with no military might to stop what's happening on the ground.
But Derek, the reality is this here, and that is you can't stop the violence until you have infrastructure. You can't get infrastructure unless you have political leadership. You can't get political leadership unless you get all the factions to agree who's going to lead. And so you gotta, at the end of the day, I sort of think back to, I used to have these arguments and disagreements with a lot of folks who are involved in Occupy Wall Street and even Black Lives Matter, where folks said, hey, we're gonna have consensus decision making. And I literally said, you can't. You gotta have hierarchy. You have to have, I don't care what system exists. You gotta have hierarchy. And I think the problem that we're facing here is that, and this is just a fact, when it comes to Haiti, the United States government is not a trusted source. It's not. No. And we have to accept that. And the United States government has to recognize that. And then the United States government then has to go, okay, who can operate in a I ain't got no dog in this hunt peacekeeper role, who could bring them together? And hey, if it's General Russell Honore, great. That's a start. I just think you gotta have that. Otherwise, this is gonna be a circular conversation.
This is a complicated equation to solve, Roland, to your point, because if you have trust issues, all those things you just outlined will not be mitigated, will not be resolved. So we, as in the United States, we have to ask ourselves, we have a history with Haiti, putting corruption aside, putting when Haiti had to deal with a natural disaster back in 2010, the earthquake, and then a few years later, they had a hurricane that came through, and then a couple of years later, they had another earthquake, right? And then they also have outbreaks because Haiti needs, medicine. They need the things that the United States can provide. And so when you have all these multiple dimensions at work, time becomes of the essence, because the violence is going to continue to grow stronger and stronger. You're going to continue to have fatalities. You're going to have Haitians dying from either hunger or violence by way of the gangs. And then you still got this instability from a political standpoint. And you really need to have that in place first in order for the United States to even start, having this negotiation. I mean, it's more than just sending the Marine Corps over there to make sure that the embassy is safe and secure and Americans are safe and secure over there. But this thing around trust is going to be a very hard nut to crack because of the history that we have with Haiti.
Well, and I got to say this, Julian, also comes down to the money. And so if you talk about this group of elected officials in the United States from the Haitian diaspora, that matters because they're going to have to utilize their heft, if you will, to get the United States to release the money that's needed for security. And so, it's a whole lot of moving parts, but you do have to have trusted voices who people on all the different facets can say, you know what, that person not picking sides or whatever, hey, we can all agree on that person. That's literally how mediation works.
And, that is what has happened, Roland. But, there's a background question here because Derek talked about the 2010 earthquake and subsequent tragedies. Frankly, Haiti has been a state of tragedy since its inception. It had to pay France money back when they rebelled and when they got freedom for enslaved people. That destabilization has raised all kinds of questions. And the underlying question is, in whose interest is it to have a destabilized Haiti? Who benefits from a destabilized Haiti? We know that gun smugglers, et cetera, like Obakongo said, the army can't get guns, but the gangs can. They don't manufacture guns in Haiti. So where are these guns coming from? The notion of a trusted person, and the fewer the better. Per son or per sons, General Honore seems like he would be a great choice. That it basically papers over some of the underlying issues. And obviously people can't get to the underlying issues right away. But I fear, and I'm of Haitian descent, but I fear a permanent destabilization or dictatorship, which is not acceptable either, unless these folks can come together. Now, the Montana Accord was a wonderful document, 15 organizations, more than 400 people, real consensus, and I'm not sure what happened to it. I'm also not sure what happened with the CARICOM effort. But again, you have this issue of trust and people not being able to get along or to agree. And until they get to that point, we're going to have a recurring cycle of this. And it doesn't only destabilize Haiti, it destabilizes the whole Western Hemisphere, because soon people will be coming from the DR, which doesn't like Haiti, has a lot of antipathy toward Haiti. From some of the CARICOM countries, people will take advantage of the predatory capitalist opportunities that exist there in Haiti. So I'm pessimistic, but hopeful.
Same. So hopefully we get some resolution, because at the end of the day, there is massive suffering going on. And man, it would be great for folks to be able to get a reprieve from the suffering, from the violence, from the death, and be able to just begin to actually build a
fan base New era of social media and investment. This next generation social app has already raised $10 million and has just opened a new round to invest. For details on how to invest, visit startengine.com/fanbase or scan the QR code. Another way we're giving you the freedom to be you without limits.
As bad as Trump was, his economy was worse, and Black America felt it the most. He cut health insurance while giving tax breaks to the wealthy and big business. He stoked racial violence, attacked voting rights, and if reelected, vowed to be a dictator and, quote, get revenge. We can't go back. As president, I put money in pockets, creating millions of new jobs, and capped the cost of insulin at $35 a month. There's a lot more to do, but we can do it together. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve.
While members of the Congressional Presidential Council are near being officially installed, the UN says more than 1,500 people have been killed in Haiti this year. Violent gangs continue to ravage the struggling country and growing stronger as homeless children are being swept into the chaos. The co-chair of the U.S. House Haiti Caucus, Congresswoman Sheila Sherfless McCormick, joins us right now. She is quite familiar with what's happening right there. Congresswoman, glad to have you here. First and foremost, what's interesting here, again, is how you look at the reaction. You've got folks on the right who are, oh my God, the Haitian migrants are coming. Yet if these folks were Cuban, there'll be a totally different reaction in South Florida.
You're 100% correct. Instead of them looking at the humanity of these people and what's going on, they're sitting there trying to make it, politicize it by saying, oh, there's going to be a Haitian invasion. Haitian people are going to be coming in. But the truth is, we haven't seen elevated numbers of Haitian people hitting the shores just yet. But what we are seeing is a need to help right now. So instead of us trying to fear monger, what we need to focus on is making sure that we can do everything to prevent Haitian people from going to the sea. And doing that was for us to know right now we need security and we actually need a government. In addition to that, we have to look at the causes. You have 1.4 million Haitian people right now who are facing a famine. More than 5 million people also are struggling to have food and water. When you look at these aspects and the gangs taking over, they displaced over 360,000 people from their homes. These are the reasons. The gangs are actually facilitating all these problems. So we need to focus on making sure we're releasing the 40 million, which the administration has already requested, that the Republicans are holding on to, so we can have a security mission and also support the transition government. But until that is done, we're going to keep talking about these issues and these statistics, and the issues are going to actually be amplified.
So what's the reason they're giving? How can they keep whining about security and then not want to release the money that will help with security?
They're seeing it as a game. So they're saying, well, they need this report. They need this briefing. We've had over 65 briefings with the State Department. Then they said they need a government. Right now, we have a transition government that's coming together, but without having the funds there, Kenya is at a deadlock because they need the money to start putting everything together. The transition government needs security. So even once they're ratified, they still need someone to support them. So their excuses is really that. It's excuses. They're just trying to create a political climate so they can fearmonger people who already have a problem with immigrants. And so it could be a political tool. But while they're trying to use this political tool, we have people who are really dying. We have Americans who are trying to evacuate who can't get out of Haiti. We have people who are looking at famine. So this is absolutely ridiculous. And at the heart of it, it is a racist issue, right? Because like you said, if we were talking about Ukraine, you had Putin taking over Ukraine, but right now we have gangs taking over Haiti right in our backyard. We see more drug trafficking and gun trafficking in Haiti than we see anywhere else in the Caribbean in our backyard. So why isn't this rising to the level of a national security issue? Why isn't everyone seeing it as a national security issue? We have gang members right now going back and forth to Russia, trying to speak to Putin to come into Haiti, but we still don't see it as a national security risk. We're still sitting there straddling the fence and walking slowly to help the people of Haiti. It's a race issue.
You are the first Haitian from Florida to serve in Congress. This was the PBS story when you were elected. Go to my iPad. They said that you were ready to fight for Haitians. And so this is near and dear, very personal for you.
It is, and especially when I look at every side, right? Because we know how politics has been internationally, not just for Republicans, Democrats. It seems like it's been the policies of the United States to really harm Haiti. And so right now, if we're saying we're going into a new age where we're going to have a Haitian-led solution and support Haiti, well, let's do what we said before. Let's put our money where our mouth is and put out the money for the security mission. Let's make sure that we're extending TPS. Let's make sure we're not deporting anybody to go to Haiti right now. As of right now, the deportations have stopped, but that's more incidental. It's not actually intentional. So our policies have to be intentional to protect Haitian people, but this would be no different than the policies we have towards other countries, no different than the policies that we have in Ukraine, no difference than we have and policies that you have even for Venezuela. So why is the policy so different when it comes to Haiti? We have to address that. And I think the administration, as well as the other side, has to do better than this. We've been here now for 2 years. Since 2 years, we've been complaining about the instability in Haiti. Since 2 years, we knew that there were drug lords in Haiti. We also knew that there were mercenaries that were sent there to kill the president. And now that Haiti has no government, who do you think is running it? I just saw a propaganda video, and the gangs who before they were walking around barefooted with old shirts, they have new uniforms, they have trucks, they have all these guns that we've never seen before. Who's facilitating that? The longer we don't help Haiti become stable, the more the cartels can take over Haiti, the more guns are going to be going into Haiti, and the more drugs are going to be coming out of Haiti, coming into the U.S., and that's the reality.
I had a retired General Russell Honore on the show last week, and then I had a couple of Haitian activists on the show just the other day, and they said that he is someone who Haitian Americans and folks in Haiti trust. Part of this issue is trust. A significant part of this is the United States history when it comes to Haiti, sending the military there, invading the country. And so are we is the United States government a legitimate mediation entity, or do you think it requires having others who Haitians can trust, who others can trust, that it's not the United States trying to control the independence of this country?
You're absolutely right. I think that it has to be more of an international program. And that's why CARICOM is supervising the negotiations right now. And I have to really clarify that because there's been misinformation as if the U.S. is actually supervising it. It is not. It is CARICOM who is supervising it. And the truth is that the United States does have a problem with credibility because of our history and how we've dealt with Haiti before. So no, the United States should not be meddling or choosing a leader, which we're not. Right now, it's a Haitian-led solution. We have more than 9 different parties who are at the table who are going to create this transitional presidential council, and then they will choose who's going to lead Haiti. But it has to be like that. Roland, I can tell you, as the only Haitian American in Congress, I think I get more calls from Haitian Americans who want to be president in Haiti. And I have to tell everybody, this has to be a Haitian-led, meaning you're living in Haiti, not living in the United States, right, trying become president of Haiti. So we have to empower the Haitian people, and we also have to make sure that they have justice. Once we empower them, once we support them with a security force, and once we support them financially, I think we'll start to grow in getting credibility with the Haitian people. But as of right now, we do not.
Yeah, I would dare say if there's somebody who's a Haitian American and wants to be president of Haiti, move back. I mean, that was part of the issue that happened in Iraq, where we were talking to Iraqi nationals who were not there, and people were there were like, we don't know who these people are, we don't trust them. And so trust is a significant issue. First, have you, the CBC, have y'all met directly with the Secretary of State Blinken, and have y'all also had a direct conversation with the President of the United States on this issue?
We haven't had a direct conversation with the President of the United States, but we have spoken to Secretary Blinken. And last week, we actually met with the new ambassador to Haiti that was actually confirmed 2 weeks ago. And so we've been taking every affirmative step to make sure we're bringing this to light, that we're helping the situation. And we've actually put out letters. There was a letter by Leader Hakeem Jeffries asking the speaker to actually release the funds. We've been putting all the pressure we can so they can release the funds. And one of the worst things that we did not want to see is this to become political. But now we can see that it's clearly political because there is no reason for this stalemate.
Questions from my panel. Let's first off is Reese Colbert, host Sirius XM radio show out of DC. Reese, your question.
Congresswoman, thank you for being here and for really shedding light on what you refer to as disinformation. Can you clear up any other misconceptions about the American response as well as what people think is happening in Haiti that would help people be more on board with Americans being more, American taxpayer dollars becoming more of an instrumental part of the response?
Well, I think one thing that people aren't realizing is that 80% of the guns that go into Haiti come directly from the United States. And that is part of the problem, which has been going on now, like I said, for 2 years. So the gangs have been getting stronger and stronger, terrifying people with American-made guns. And if you understand our participation in that, why we're losing credibility with Haitian people, is for that reason. So I recently introduced the Catch Act so we could start catching some of these guns and stopping them from coming in. But we do have a responsibility to help with the security mission because we're part of the problem. If we had stepped in earlier, right after the assassination, if we had said, you know what, we need to make sure that we're not propping up Ariel Henry, which was there for too long. One of the first things I asked for when I got to Congress was for him to step down because we saw a correlation between Ariel Henry and what was going on in Haiti. Every time he would be flying around and not being in the country was getting progressively worse. When we asked him to take specific steps, he never took those steps. So it became clearer and clearer that not only did the people feel like he was illegitimate, but also that he was doing things to make you think that he could be working with them. So unfortunately, we waited too long to move on this. But right now, we can't lose this moment right here to make sure that we have a strong government, and that government cannot be placed without a security mission.
Lauren Victoria Burke, Black Press USA out of Arlington, Virginia.
Hi, Congresswoman Phyllis McCormick. How you doing? I was wondering what the $40 million would cover. It seems like in the last 14 years or 10 to 14 years, Haiti has had some really bad, bad luck. There was the earthquake. Obviously, there was the assassination, and now there's this. So I wonder, what does the $40 million actually go to?
So initially, the United States has pledged $300 million, and that's going to be for the security mission. The initial ask was for $50 million. That's to start to set up the security mission with Kenya and actually on the ground to support the mission. Now, the Republicans released $10 million of that. $40 million is still waiting. So that's going to go for the infrastructure building to make sure that the Kenyans are prepared, that they're vetted, and they can come in. Now, it's not just the Kenyans who are coming in. I think we have a total of maybe 5 to 7 nations who will be supporting this police force. Now, it's important to note that the reason why we're supporting the police force is because Haiti does not have a military or an army. The only force we have right now in Haiti is that police force. So that money is necessary, or I would say it's imperative to even start the mission.
Dr. Greg Carr, Department of Afro-American Studies, Howard University out of D.C.
Thank you, Roland, and thank you, Congresswoman Phyllis McCormick. First of all, praying for and hope that your family and community and people who are in Haiti are safe. I'm wondering if you have any thoughts about a couple of things. Number one, the distortions and the fabrications in the Western press as it relates to what's going on in Haiti on the ground with these various paramilitary groups, many of which seems like the best armed are the ones closest to the damn U.S. embassy. Any thoughts about safety and concerns? People think the whole country is somehow ungovernable and on fire. And then who's going to lead this security mission, given that there's huge pushback in Kenya right now? I mean, the courts have ruled against them. The people are increasingly against this. I know Ruto is supposed to be coming here for a state visit. And finally, in terms of this transition government, saw that Dominique Dupuy resigned, the Haitian Canadian who was affiliated with the UN. Did see that Lavoyes is represented there. Is this transition government commission credible, particularly given the fact that the last time the United States invaded in 2004 and got rid of Aristide, they did so with a UN stabilization mission that was an utter disaster?
Well, we have to look at the parties who are at the table. Right now, there's 9 parties at the table. There's 7 parties who are actually voting members, and they all represent different parties within Haiti. So you do have Lavalas, you have Petit Dessalines, you have the Montana Group, you have EDE. I can't remember all of them, but you have a wide consortium of people who are actually in Haiti. If there was an election, they would be part of the election process. So I think that's what brings their credibility. In addition to that, you also have the faith-based groups who are there, and you have the private private sector. So that, I believe, is the most credible that you can get when you have actual Haitian people. Now, with our past missions that we've had, I mean, everybody can admit that those past missions were not successful. This is why people were looking for, the international community was looking for a group who can come in, who has a good reputation when it comes to actually completing a mission and who can lead that mission. So we're finding countries, not just like Kenya, but also Benin and other countries. Jamaica has pledged police forces. I think there's other Caribbean pledged Caribbean forces. So we're looking at a more of a diverse and more culturally competent force. Now, can that force be successful? If you look at that resolution, we were specific in demanding that they have actual safeguards to protect the people, not just from waste management and what we saw last time from cholera, but also vetting the people who be coming in. Every single personnel who comes in will be vetted as a mechanism to protect them. We're looking at also more security measures. So if people see something they need to report them, it's easily reportable. So we're doing everything in our power to try to make sure that this mission is successful. But to be honest with you, there is no silver bullet. Haiti didn't get here overnight. And there was a lot of meddling from the United States for centuries that helped Haiti get to where it is. And it was punishment to Haiti because Haiti was the first republic and they supported Black people being free throughout the entire world. So when we understand the context of it, we understand how much work it's going to take to go forward and how much of an obligation and responsibility the United States has to recompense Haiti for what it's done to Haiti.
I want to play this and get your reaction because I was reading a story in The Nation that these comments greatly upset a lot of folks in Haiti. This is from a former U.S. ambassador to Haiti, Pamela White. I'm sure you've already seen this here, but for our audience who is not, folks, listen to this.
And Ambassador White, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
This is a very concerning situation in Haiti. Gangs have pretty much taken control of the country. The prime minister forced to shut down, and he wasn't even in the country when this happened. Can you give us the very latest about what is going on?
Yeah, well, I can give you from where I'm sitting here in South Carolina what I'm talking to many, many people in Haiti. They're very distressed, and I know we don't have a lot of time, but I do want to make a couple of points. And one is I talked to Guy Philippe yesterday, and I know that he's sort of put as being one of the bad boys, but in my opinion, he's someone that can help with the situation, and I believe we should be dealing with him. We dealt with the Duvaliers for 20 plus years. We can certainly deal with Guy Philippe. He's charismatic, he's bright, he's articulate, and he has many, many people that are following him. And I think he can be part of the solution. I think that even Barbecue, Jimmy C can be part of the solution. I don't think that 1,000 Kenyan troops for the tune of $237 million are going to turn the situation around in Haiti. And my last really important point is this new 7-person transition council. I don't know transition to what, because we're in a total failed state in Haiti. But in any case, if one of the people that are appointed on that 7-person council are the elite, the names that we have heard, the political elite, the private sector elite, even one, the people that have mansions in the hills of Port-au-Prince, Petronville and above, the people who have mansions in Florida and send their kids to Ivy League schools. Those people, if there's even one, it's going to fail dead on arrival. So I don't know who the names are. I don't know who's being considered. I have not any clue, but I do know.
So folks are saying, wait a minute, you want to include 2 gang leaders as part of the solution? Your take on what this former U.S. ambassador to Haiti said?
I was about to pass out when I heard this because I said this lady must be crazy. For you to think that a gang leader, a self-proclaimed gang person, drug dealer, and the gangs that we should be working with, Barbecue, who has been killing, brutalizing, raping women and children and boys and girls, that we should work with them, that would actually help the people of Haiti is crazy. It's insulting when she says he's charismatic, he speaks well. I mean, these are all the racist things that people say all the time, that we hear all the time. But what's even more offensive is that she used to be the ambassador of Haiti. So when we hear someone who used to be the ambassador of Haiti saying the craziest things, I mean, could we not see how we were implicit in destroying Haiti to begin with? This is who is the ambassador? to Haiti that she thinks that we should work with gangs. I thought we don't work with terrorists. This is what I'm talking about when we need to take a real clear stance when it comes to Haiti on who we are and what we're going to do going forward. Either we're going to help the Haitian people and be credible by giving them justice. Justice means that you cannot support someone who has raped their daughters, their kids, their boys, their girls, who have murdered their families, that you want to actually help them to be the leaders of Haiti. This is crazy to me. And we have to take a stand. And people like that should never be in the foreign services. They should never be representing black countries. And, I have to say, but this is why we need to keep pushing our diversity, equity, and inclusion projects, because there's no way that a woman like that should have ever been in Haiti, because look at what is done. Look at what she's even saying now. So to me, it's more than repulsive. I just wanted to pass out of my chair for her to say that.
Well, it certainly was strange. And again, what happens is when she goes on television and they say, oh, former U.S. ambassador to Haiti, they give her lots of credibility in doing so. And she was the ambassador there, my understanding, 2012 to 2015. So that was under President Barack Obama. Last question for you, and that is, I go back, who is the state? I go back to what the Haitian activist said about General Russell Honore. And then I think about others. They said there are a number of Haitian American elected officials in the United States who should be part of this. Who is the administration talking to? Are they actually leaning on and talking to people who are Haitian American, who have credibility, who can help with this? Who are they dealing with?
So the administration has been talking to Haitian Americans. There's been a lot of people at the table, but I have to make it and be very, very clear. The negotiations for who's going to be running this transition government is by CARICOM. It is a Haitian-led solution. It's a Haitian-led team. They live in Haiti. And so I think we need to be clear when you see people from the Haitian diaspora who want the U.S. to step in and make decisions on behalf of Haitian people. This has been traditionally the problem. And so even I'm opposed to having the diaspora step in and dictate where Haiti's going. If you go to Haiti, if I was to go to Haiti right now, they would call me a diaspora, because that's to identify that I wasn't born in Haiti, that I live in the United States, that I'm an American. So even the people of Haiti see a difference between the diaspora and also Haitians who live in Haiti. And that's why we have to keep focusing on that we have a Haitian-led solution, a real Haitian-led solution, not people who live in the United States, who live in my district in Florida, who say they want to go and run Haiti. And so that's been the emphasis. And right now, CARICOM has been supervising that conversation. We have 9 parties who are Haitian parties who are doing it, who live in Haiti, who are part of the political parties, and who have been part of politics in Haiti for a long time. And I do believe that's the first step in getting credibility with the Haitian people on the ground.
Congresswoman, glad to have you on the show. Let us know you want to come back and give us an update on what's happening. Hopefully, we will see some form of resolution to achieve peace there in Haiti. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for having me.
Fanbase is pioneering a new era of social media and investment. This next generation social app has already raised $10 million and has just opened a new round to invest. For details on how to invest, visit startengine.com/fanbase or scan the QR code. Another way we're giving you the freedom to be you without limits.